Why do we say that exploring alien planets brings not hope but despair? Only when you are truly thrown onto these worlds will you realize, aside from Earth, most known planets are nothing but hell. For the next 40 minutes, you will board a starship with no speed limits, land on these infernal worlds, and see just how long you can survive. Kepler-36b. In the blink of an eye, you arrive on a barren wasteland of steel. Once a complete planet, now reduced to a naked metallic core. Everything else was torn apart, evaporated, and devoured by its parent star. Beneath your feet lies the world of Kepler-36b. The moment you touch its surface, you feel the silence of death. There is no atmosphere. In the darkness, you can barely see anything, navigating only by instinct. You are standing on the planet's dark side, the only place where you can survive for even a few minutes. On the day side, NASA scientists have calculated temperatures soaring above 600 degrees Celsius, hot enough to melt aluminum and hot enough to melt you. So you wander in the shadows, but each step is crushing. Gravity here is 5 times Earth's. The world around you is charred, lifeless, and silent. Then, far in the distance, a faint light flickers. It's a lava lake. It should not exist on the dark side, yet it burns quietly in the black. Suddenly, the ground trembles beneath you. You look up and see a colossal shape hanging in the void. A blue gas giant, 5 times the size of Earth, looming overhead. This is Kepler-36b's neighbor. Unlike the scorched metallic husk beneath your feet, it managed to keep its gaseous shell intact, but its presence is your doom. The distance between them is only 9 million kilometers, 20 times closer than Earth and Venus at their nearest. In the sky, it looks 3 times larger than a full moon on Earth. A beautiful sight, hiding destruction. Its gravity is tearing Kepler-36b apart. Here, earthquakes are not just natural disasters. They are steel storms, shredding the crust like paper. The ground splits open. Lava erupts. The lake you saw earlier was nothing more than a scar from the last close encounter. You try to stand firm, but it's useless. The quakes and the crushing gravity pin you down. You collapse, your body crushed by extreme overload. Rising again is impossible. All you can do is stare up at the blue giant above, your messenger of doom. Moments later, the surface itself tears apart. On this dead metallic core, you lasted only 7 minutes. Gliese 436b. As your starship approaches the next planet, you immediately notice something strange. Trailing behind it is a long, pale gray tail, stretching hundreds of thousands of kilometers into space. It looks eerily like a comet. This is Gliese 436b, a lonely world drifting 33 light-years away from Earth. Your ship descends, piercing through the thick atmosphere. In an instant, you are swallowed by a dense fog. The air is filled with helium and other light gases. Only faint rays from its stars struggle through the haze, barely illuminating the surface. You finally touch down and take your first step. The ground beneath you is solid ice. But your instruments show something impossible. The surface temperature is 300 degrees Celsius above zero. And yet, the ground remains frozen. This is what scientists call hot ice. Under crushing pressure, water is forced into a strange solid state. Even at extreme heat, it stays frozen. You are standing on a world made of searing, super dense water. Fortunately, the surface pressure is manageable. Your spacesuit, built with aramid fiber and ceramic composites, was designed for this very environment. For now, you are safe. But visibility is poor. Thick, milky fog rises around you, hot, heavy, and suffocating. Through the haze, you glimpse Gliese 436, its parent star. It hangs in the sky, alarmingly close, 33 times nearer than the sun is to Earth. And yet it glows faintly, only a quarter as bright as our sun. This energy is not enough to destroy the planet instantly, but it is enough to erode it slowly, piece by piece. You move carefully across the scalding ice. The surface sublimates beneath your feet. Vapor drifts upward, escaping into space, feeding the great gray comet tail you saw earlier. Then danger arrives silently. Tiny ice crystals, evaporated from the surface, begin to cling to your visor. At first, only a faint mist. But soon, these scorching crystals act like acid, corroding the outer layer of your suit. A thin crack appears across your visor. You try to turn back, but it's already too late. The visor shatters. A blast of 300 degrees Celsius heat strikes your face. Oxygen vanishes in an instant. Your journey ends here. On Gliese 436b, you survived for only 40 minutes. HD 189733b. At this moment, your starship reaches a planet 64 light-years from Earth. At first glance, it looks strikingly like home. A brilliant shade of blue gleams against the darkness of space. You might think this dazzling color comes from tropical oceans, just like Earth. But you would be wrong. This is no ordinary world. It is a gas giant, slightly larger than Jupiter, with nearly the same mass. To uncover the truth behind its beauty, you must plunge into its atmosphere. The first few kilometers seem deceptively calm. The air is scorching hot, but your suit can still endure it. Then, suddenly, a dense blue haze surrounds you. Visibility plummets. You are wrapped in a glowing shroud of mist. Here, the gravity is 6 times that of Earth. Your body is pulled downward, accelerating your descent to nearly 320 kilometers per hour. Your pulse races, your breathing grows ragged, the crushing G-force squeezes your chest like a vice. But the worst is yet to come. As you sink deeper into the middle atmosphere, temperatures climb to 600 to 700 degrees Celsius. And then, at last, you understand the secret of this planet's blue glow. Billions of silicate particles race sideways across the atmosphere. They are not raindrops falling from above. They are shards of glass blasted sideways in hurricane-force winds. Each fragment sharp as a razor, each gust moving at nearly 2 kilometers per second, faster than bullets. The glassy storm engulfs you. Your suit is shredded within seconds. Metal and ceramic plating are no match for a hurricane of supersonic blades. In the blink of an eye, your journey ends. On HD 189733b, you survived for barely 90 seconds. Your body is torn apart, and what remains drifts endlessly in the glass storms of this blue giant, a planet as beautiful as it is deadly. Black hole planet Destiny. Your starship has crossed 3 million light-years of intergalactic void. At last, you reach the far edge of the M33 galaxy. Here, a supermassive black hole sits in silence, and just beyond its dangerous event horizon, you discover a planet. It moves along a fragile, stable orbit. This is your discovery. You name it Destiny. The first step onto its surface feels almost light. Beneath you lies black, glassy rock, cracked and fractured, as though once melted by unimaginable heat. On the horizon, low hills blur into mist. Faint outlines of mountains hide in the haze. You look up, and the sky is dominated by a massive accretion disk. It spins around the black hole like a glowing whirlpool, appearing twice the size of Earth's full moon. The plasma blazes at near light speed, but the glow is not golden. It is a cold, metallic silver, casting the land in eternal twilight. At first, a strange calm washes over you, but soon, that calm fades. The ground begins to tremble. A low, resonant hum rises, deep and unending, as though echoing from the planet's core. The sound grows louder. It is not from any storm or quake. It is the tidal force of the black hole tearing at the planet itself. Destiny orbits at the very edge, 1 trillion kilometers from the black hole, close enough to survive, but not without cost. As the planet rotates, the side facing the black hole is pulled and stretched by its immense gravity. Mountains groan, rocks split open, the ground ripples like waves, even the air seems to shimmer and twist. You lose your footing and crash to the ground. Suddenly, your visor flashes red. Radiation alert. The accretion disk erupts, unleashing a pulse of radioactive particles. Your systems flicker, electronics fail. Even your reinforced suit cannot withstand radiation this powerful. Within minutes, you feel strength draining away. Your limbs grow heavy, your vision blurs. On Destiny, you survive 12 minutes, according to your watch, a brief encounter. But on Earth, nearly half a year has already passed. Time itself has been twisted by the gravity of the black hole. Each of your seconds was stretched into eternity. At last, consciousness fades. On this black hole planet, everything falls silent. Pulsar planet PSR B1257 plus 12c. Your starship arrives in the constellation Virgo, 2,300 light-years away from Earth. Here lies a star, known only by its code, PSR B1257 plus 12. But this is no ordinary star. It is a pulsar, a collapsed core of a dead star, spinning with incredible speed. 3 planets orbit it, and your destination is the second one, PSR B1257 plus 12c. The moment you land, the first thing you notice is not the ground, but the sky. Blinding flashes of light cut across the horizon, in perfect rhythm, like the beam of a cosmic lighthouse. This is the pulsar's radiation. From its magnetic poles, intense beams of particles and energy sweep across space again and again. Every flash strikes the planet like a hammer, a reminder of the star's deadly heartbeat. You look around. The surface is bleak and lifeless, a black, dusty plain, broken only by low hills barely rising against the horizon. There is no atmosphere. Long ago, the pulsar's violent magnetism stripped it away. The temperature hovers around -20 degrees Celsius. Cold, yes, but survivable. The real danger comes from the radiation. The pulsar's magnetic field accelerates particles to near the speed of light. They bombard this world like an endless invisible storm. Fortunately, your suit was built for this. It carries 3 layers of defense. The outer shell of carbon and tungsten blocks gamma rays and X-rays. A middle layer of graphene absorbs neutron radiation, and an inner polyethylene lining deflects any particles that remain. With this armor, you manage to endure. But not for long. The flashes are relentless, so rapid, so bright, they begin to overwhelm your senses. Your head throbs, nausea churns in your stomach, your eyes ache as if needles of light pierce them. You glance upward, and there it is. The pulsar itself. Smaller than a moon in appearance, yet far brighter. From its poles, two searing beams of radiation slice through the black sky. Time stretches, your strength drains away. Each pulse feels heavier, like a drumbeat pounding against your skull. Your suit alarms flare. High-energy particle breach. The radiation has broken through your defenses. You stumble. Your knees give way. Before the darkness takes you, you realize the truth. No armor could withstand this forever. Signal lost. Later calculations show you lasted 20 minutes on PSRB 1257 plus 12C. For you, it felt like endless torture. For the pulsar, it was nothing more than a heartbeat. Kepler 277b. Your ship travels 3,185 light-years through the void and finally arrives at one of the most extreme planets ever discovered, Kepler 277b. This giant world has a mass 87 times greater than Earth's, and its diameter is about 3 times larger. According to NASA's Exoplanet Exploration Program, its surface temperature reaches 650 degrees Celsius, hotter than the most violent volcanoes on Earth, and enough to melt metal in seconds. To survive here, you put on a suit built for hell itself. Its shell is made of aluminum-titanium alloy plates, strong enough to insulate against the heat, yet only half the weight of a normal spacesuit. You choose to land on the dark side. Your spacesuit protects you from the freezing cold, yet the chill still bites through your boots, as if the ground itself were trying to pull the warmth out of you. Looking around, the landscape feels eerily familiar. It resembles Earth's moon, covered with craters, cracks, and dust. Gray, silent, lit only by the distant glow of stars. For now, you can take a short walk, your insulated suit keeping you alive. But the one mistake you must never make is waiting for sunrise. At last, the sun begins to rise over the horizon. It looks nothing like the sun from Earth. Here it is blinding white, 3 times larger in the sky and far more intense. The heat surges quickly. Radiation pours into your suit. Even the most advanced cooling system cannot keep up. Within minutes, ultraviolet rays scorch your skin through the protective layers. Your suit's electronics begin to fail. The internal temperature spikes. Breathing becomes harder. Your blood feels like it's boiling. Your vision blurs. Your organs begin to shut down. You collapse on the burning surface. On Mercury, your challenge ends in just 15 minutes. A hydraulic exoskeleton supports every part of your body, even your neck. You swallow high-pressure medication to help your blood circulate. Without it, your heart would give out in moments. You step out of the ship. Above you, the sky glows a hazy orange. Beneath your feet, a barren wasteland stretches endlessly, made of iron and stone. The gravity here is 5 times stronger than Earth's. On Earth, you weigh 82 kilograms. Here, with your heavy suit, you weigh over 3,400 kilograms. The pressure is crushing. It feels as if the entire planet is trying to push you into the ground. You take a step. Your foot sinks 4 to 5 centimeters into the rocky surface, like walking through deep snow. The exoskeleton strains. Every movement feels like it drains your life away. Your heart pounds violently. Your breathing turns ragged. Your ears fill with a sharp ringing. The world tilts. Your vision blurs. Dizziness grips you. Still, the exoskeleton forces you forward. One more step. Your last. You collapse, and in this gravity, falling is like plummeting from the sky. The impact drives you into the ground. Your body is pinned, crushed by your own weight. There is no standing again. On Kepler 277b, you walked just 12 steps. You survived 1 minute and 30 seconds. TOI 1452b, the Water World. Your ship continues its voyage through interstellar space. Now you arrive at a world 100 light-years from Earth. Its name, TOI 1452b. Through the window, you see a planet with no land at all. An endless, unbroken ocean covers its entire surface. It is 5 times larger than Earth, and weighs about 4 times more. According to NASA's research, water makes up nearly 30% of its total mass. On Earth, water accounts for less than 0.1%. That means TOI 1452b holds 7,000 times more water than Earth. There is no land to touch, no solid ground to step on, so you have no choice, you dive straight into the ocean. With a splash, your suit and life support system keep you floating on the surface. The water feels strangely familiar, similar to Earth's oceans, salty, cool, with an edge of something foreign in the taste. For a moment, you even feel safe. But only minutes later, a shadow rises on the horizon. It looks like a wall of blue, and it's rushing toward you. Within a minute, you see it clearly, a wave, 60 meters tall. These aren't ordinary waves. They are born from the relentless earthquakes that shake this water world. Here, tsunamis never end. They sweep across the planet again and again. There is nowhere to run. The giant wave crashes down, water engulfs you, pressing into every seam of your suit. The crushing weight squeezes the breath from your chest. Cold pressure fills your world. You fight, but the ocean swallows you whole. On TOI 1452b, survival was never real. It was only an illusion. You lasted 7 minutes. Venus, the hell planet. The year is 1982. The Soviet probe Venera 13 pierces the toxic sulfuric acid clouds and lands on the harshest planet in the solar system, Venus. Here, the air pressure is enough to crush a submarine. The heat is strong enough to melt lead. The skies are heavy with clouds of acid. And yet, Venera 13 survived for 127 minutes. It sent back images and data to Earth until it was finally destroyed by the hellish conditions. Now it's you. Imagine standing on the surface of Venus. Without protection, you wouldn't last a second. The pressure would crush you instantly, long before the heat or the acid touched you. So we assume you are wearing a specially designed spacesuit built with the same technology that once protected Venera 13. Welcome to Venus. All around you, the world is bathed in orange haze. The thick atmosphere, filled with carbon dioxide and sulfuric acid clouds, scatters sunlight so heavily that the planet is trapped in a permanent dim glow. You step forward. The ground beneath your boots is barren volcanic rock, cracked and broken. Your suit endures 90 atmospheres of pressure, the same as being crushed nearly a kilometer beneath the ocean. Gravity here is only slightly weaker than Earth's, barely a 10% difference. But it makes little difference. Every movement feels heavy, strangled by the weight of your environment. The true nightmare, however, is the heat. Venus is the hottest planet in the solar system. Its surface temperature is 470 degrees Celsius, hot enough to melt zinc, tin, and lead. And even on the night side, the heat doesn't fade. The planet is trapped by an extreme greenhouse effect. The thick atmosphere acts like a giant blanket, locking all heat inside. Your suit fights back. Multiple insulation layers protect you. Silicon carbide armor resists the heat. Inside, a cooling system evaporates special liquid to draw heat away from your body. You keep moving. Sulfuric acid rain hisses as it lands on your suit, but titanium coatings and carbon plating still manage to resist, for now. The air around you is filled with supercritical carbon dioxide. It is neither a gas nor a liquid, but something in between, a suffocating fluid that no living thing could ever endure. Soon, your systems begin to fail. The cooling system overloads. Your body overheats. You gasp for air. Your vision blurs. Within 1 minute, you collapse inside the suit. The heat keeps rising. Your protective layers weaken. Acid and pressure tear at the armor. Finally, your defenses shatter. Your body and your suit succumb to the inferno. On Venus, you survived 20 minutes. Mercury, the extreme test of day and night. Your next destination is the closest planet to the Sun and the smallest in the solar system, Mercury. Here, your fate depends entirely on which side you land, the dark side or the sunlit side. The upper atmosphere greets you with brilliance. Auroras ripple across the sky, like vast curtains of blue and green light. They shimmer, born from Saturn's powerful magnetic field colliding with streams of charged particles. You descend further. Soon you enter the lower atmosphere, the troposphere. This layer stretches 240 kilometers deep. And here, the weather unleashes its full fury. Hurricanes rage. Winds scream past at 400 meters per second, many times stronger than the most violent storms on Earth. Your suit holds, but each breath becomes harder. The dense ammonia clouds form thick yellow curtains, the very reason Saturn appears golden from space. The deeper you fall, the colder it gets. Temperatures plummet to minus 200 degrees Celsius. In seconds, ice crystals form across your visor, encasing you in a frozen shell. Your instruments flicker. Warning alarms scream in your helmet. Below, darkness swallows the last traces of light. Almost no sunlight penetrates this depth. Pressure builds relentlessly. Your suit groans. Breathing becomes torture. Your chest feels crushed, as though an iron hammer is striking you from all sides. Then, the inevitable. The crushing weight of Saturn's atmosphere overwhelms your defenses. Your body collapses in an instant. Everything dissolves into the storm. On Saturn, you survived only 5 minutes, slightly longer than Jupiter, but no less merciless. Mercury has almost no atmosphere. That means no air to spread heat. As a result, its surface temperatures swing more violently than on any other planet in the solar system. At night, the ground plunges to minus 173 degrees Celsius. By day, it soars to 427 degrees Celsius. A single planet, holding both the coldest and hottest hell. You choose to land on the dark side. Your spacesuit protects you from the freezing cold, yet the chill still bites through your boots, as if the ground itself were trying to pull the warmth out of you. Looking around, the landscape feels eerily familiar. It resembles Earth's moon, covered with craters, cracks, and dust. Gray, silent, lit only by the distant glow of stars. For now, you can take a short walk, your insulated suit keeping you alive. But the one mistake you must never make is waiting for sunrise. At last, the sun begins to rise over the horizon. It looks nothing like the sun from Earth. Here it is blinding white, 3 times larger in the sky and far more intense. The heat surges quickly. Radiation pours into your suit. Even the most advanced cooling system cannot keep up. Within minutes, ultraviolet rays scorch your skin through the protective layers. Your suit's electronics begin to fail. The internal temperature spikes. Breathing becomes harder. Your blood feels like it's boiling. Your vision blurs. Your organs begin to shut down. You collapse on the burning surface. On Mercury, your challenge ends in just 15 minutes. Mars, the illusion of the red planet. You land near the equator, not far from where NASA's Curiosity rover once touched down. The landscape feels both familiar and alien. It looks like Earth's deserts, rocks and sand scattered across wide plains, but the sky above glows a pale orange, heavy and strange. You are lucky. It is summer and daytime. The equatorial temperature is surprisingly comfortable, around 20 degrees Celsius. For the moment, your spacesuit's insulation system isn't even running. Walking feels easy, but Mars is not as friendly as it seems. At night, the temperature will plummet to minus 70 degrees Celsius. You must return to the ship before darkness falls. You take cautious steps. The heavy suit doesn't weigh you down as much as on Earth. Mars' gravity is only 0.38 times Earth's. That means your weight is just a fraction here. Every step feels lighter, almost effortless, but the real danger is above you. Mars has no magnetic field, and its atmosphere is thin. Radiation levels here are more than 20 times higher than on Earth. During solar flares, they spike even more. Thankfully, your suit is reinforced with Kevlar and polyethylene. For now, it shields you from the invisible storm. Hours pass. You survive without serious trouble. It almost feels like you could settle here, perhaps even dig a small underground shelter to hide from the radiation. But Mars carries a slow, silent threat. Low gravity is quietly eroding your health. Your circulation weakens. Your cardiovascular system strains. Even your brain begins to suffer under the long exposure. It feels like an invisible hand is tightening around your life. After 10 hours, your oxygen runs out. You make it back to the ship. Your mission ends. Mars did not kill you instantly, but it was slowly, patiently devouring you. Jupiter, hell of storms and lightning. At last, you arrive at the largest planet in the solar system. Even before you reach it, radiation is already tearing through your ship. Jupiter's magnetic field is 18,000 times stronger than Earth's. It captures a storm of deadly particles from the sun. Even the titanium hull of your craft groans under the strain. Suppose you manage to get close. Now comes the insane decision, to jump into its atmosphere. The first layer greets you with clouds of ammonia. The temperature plunges to minus 100 degrees Celsius. Your suit holds, barely. 1 minute later, the temperature rises again. Pressure climbs rapidly, almost matching Earth's surface. You think maybe there is a surface after all, but it's only an illusion. Suddenly, you are caught by winds. Jupiter's atmosphere rages with storms. The winds scream at 595 kilometers per hour, dragging you into a monstrous vortex. The overload on your body is unbearable. Your lungs burn. Your vision fades. You can hardly breathe. And then the sky erupts. Lightning bolts 600 meters long rip through the clouds. They are so powerful they could vaporize an entire spaceship. In the blinding flashes, you glimpse the true horror of this world. Minutes pass. Your suit is still intact, but you are gone. The shell continues to fall, pulled deeper and deeper. At 150 degrees Celsius and 24 times Earth's pressure, the descent reaches the point where NASA's Galileo probe stopped transmitting in 1995. From the moment you leapt into Jupiter, you lasted only 3 minutes. This giant, with its storms and lightning, has ended you in the cruelest way. Europa, the hidden ocean beneath the ice. This time, you do not fall into a gas giant. At last, your boots land on solid ground. Beneath you lies an endless white desert. A crust of ice 15 to 25 kilometers thick seals away a hidden ocean. The temperature here is merciless, minus 150 degrees Celsius, as cold as Mercury's dark side. There is no atmosphere. Only Jupiter's radiation pounds against your suit, minute after minute. You look around. The surface appears smooth, but it is torn apart by endless cracks. It feels as if the ground itself has been folded again and again. In the distance, a giant plume erupts skyward. A geyser of water vapor shoots 190 kilometers into space. It is as if Europa itself is breathing. You move closer, but the ice beneath your feet trembles. Suddenly, your body collapses to the ground. Not an earthquake, it is the radiation. It has destroyed your oxygen system. Your vision blurs. Dizziness spreads. You fight for air, but there is none left. Before everything goes dark, the last thing you see is the towering plume, vanishing into the blackness of space. The irony is brutal. Europa produces oxygen constantly. Jupiter's radiation splits water molecules on its surface, releasing 12 kilograms of oxygen every second. But this oxygen is forever beyond your reach. Moments later, the radiation pierces your final defenses. Your suit fails. Your body lies silent on the frozen wasteland. Here on Europa, you lasted only 15 minutes, exactly the same time you survived on Mercury. Saturn, the yellow giant of storms and vortices, through the window of your spacecraft, you see the most magnificent sight of all, a glowing ring system, instantly recognizable as Saturn. In just 2 minutes, you are gone. Neptune ends your journey with the most violent winds in the solar system. Like Jupiter, there is no solid surface for you to stand on, but curiosity drives you forward. You suit up, reinforce your radiation shielding, and take the plunge straight into the yellow abyss. Here, storms rage faster than anywhere else. Winds scream across the planet at 2,100 kilometers per hour, 5 times the speed of sound. Your body is caught in the tempest, as if thrown into a sideways meat grinder. Shards of ice crystals tear through the storm, striking your suit like bullets. Each impact rips through your protection. Electronics fail. Air systems collapse. Breath grows short. The storm doesn't give you time. Cold and radiation finish the job. In just 2 minutes, you are gone. Neptune ends your journey with the most violent winds in the solar system. The upper atmosphere greets you with brilliance. Auroras ripple across the sky like vast curtains of blue and green light. They shimmer, born from Saturn's powerful magnetic field colliding with streams of charged particles. Temperatures plunge to minus 220 degrees Celsius. The air is thick with hydrogen, helium, and methane, a toxic, frozen mix that no life could ever breathe. But the real terror is the wind. Here, storms rage faster than anywhere else. Winds scream across the planet at 2,100 kilometers per hour, 5 times the speed of sound. Your body is caught in the tempest, as if thrown into a sideways meat grinder. Shards of ice crystals tear through the storm, striking your suit like bullets. Each impact rips through your protection. Electronics fail. Air systems collapse. Breath grows short. The storm doesn't give you time. Cold and radiation finish the job. In just 2 minutes, you are gone. Neptune ends your journey with the most violent winds in the solar system. You descend further. Soon you enter the lower atmosphere, the troposphere. This layer stretches 240 kilometers deep. And here, the weather unleashes its full fury. Hurricanes rage. Winds scream past at 400 meters per second, many times stronger than the most violent storms on Earth. Your suit holds, but each breath becomes harder. The dense ammonia clouds form thick yellow curtains, the very reason Saturn appears golden from space. The deeper you fall, the colder it gets. Temperatures plummet to minus 200 degrees Celsius. In seconds, ice crystals form across your visor, encasing you in a frozen shell. Your instruments flicker. Warning alarms scream in your helmet. Below, darkness swallows the last traces of light. Almost no sunlight penetrates this depth. Pressure builds relentlessly. Your suit groans. Breathing becomes torture. Your chest feels crushed, as though an iron hammer is striking you from all sides. Then, the inevitable. The crushing weight of Saturn's atmosphere overwhelms your defenses. Your body collapses in an instant. Everything dissolves into the storm. On Saturn, you survived only 5 minutes, slightly longer than Jupiter, but no less merciless. Titan, the most Earth-like world in the solar system. Leaving Saturn's crushing storms behind, your spacecraft slowly descends to its largest moon, Titan. This is the only moon in the solar system with a thick atmosphere. And here, for the first time in a long while, you set foot on solid ground. Your boots sink into an icy plain. The temperature is minus 180 degrees Celsius, cold enough to freeze metal solid. To survive, your suit is coated with reflective shielding. Inside, layers of silica aerogel insulation hold the deadly cold at bay. You lift your head. The sky is shrouded in a dense orange haze. Saturn itself is hidden. Every horizon is cloaked in a pale, golden fog. Visibility is poor, but the air is not thin. Surface pressure is 1.5 times Earth's. Your suit is not crushed. Breathing is steady. Movement feels surprisingly easy. Titan's gravity is only 1/7 of Earth's. Even in your heavy suit, you feel light, almost buoyant. Each step feels like floating, a strange illusion of freedom in a frozen wasteland. Soon you reach a shallow basin. Through the haze, you see a lake. But it is not water. It is liquid methane and ethane gases on Earth. But here, transformed into alien seas by the deep cold. You step back. Instinct tells you, do not touch it. Radiation here is higher than on Earth, but still tolerable. Your suit holds strong, keeping you safe. Time slips by. 1 hour, 2 hours. For a moment, you dare to imagine that Titan could truly be a refuge. But then, the cold finally overwhelms your defenses. The insulation fails. Chill creeps in like knives, piercing layer after layer. You shiver violently. Your body temperature plummets. Half an hour later, you collapse into the frost. Consciousness fades. On Titan, you survived for 2.5 hours, longer than on any other world in this infernal journey. Uranus, the quiet but deadly blue giant. From afar, Uranus looks peaceful, a calm turquoise sphere floating like a gemstone in the void. But the silence is deceptive. Once you descend, you realize this world is anything but safe. You break through its thin atmosphere. Instantly, the cold assaults you. Average temperatures here drop to -224 degrees Celsius, making Uranus one of the coldest planets in the solar system. Your suit strains against the chill, yet the cold slips through like 1,000 needles, piercing every layer of protection. Looking around, you notice something unusual. Uranus's axis is tilted on its side. The entire planet spins like a rolling top. Its equator faces the sun, while its poles are locked in endless day and night. The horizon glows faintly, bathed in an alien twilight. Then comes the wind. It roars past you with terrifying speed, over 900 kilometers per hour. No suit, no armor, no technology can withstand such gales for long. Your body staggers, your systems groan, and soon, the storm wins. In less than 5 minutes, the cold and the winds tear through your protection. Uranus ends your journey quietly, but with merciless precision. Neptune, the wind furnace of the cosmos. As you approach the edge of the solar system, a deep blue world rises in the distance. From space, it looks serene, a twin to Earth, mysterious and calm. But the moment you descend, the illusion shatters. Neptune is not peaceful. It is a place of pure destruction. Temperatures plunge to -220 degrees Celsius. The air is thick with hydrogen, helium, and methane, a toxic, frozen mix that no life could ever breathe. But the real terror is the wind. Here, storms rage faster than anywhere else. Winds scream across the planet at 2,100 kilometers per hour, 5 times the speed of sound. Your body is caught in the tempest, as if thrown into a sideways meat grinder. Shards of ice crystals tear through the storm, striking your suit like bullets. Each impact rips through your protection. Electronics fail, air systems collapse, breath grows short. The storm doesn't give you time. Cold and radiation finish the job. In just 2 minutes, you are gone. Neptune ends your journey with the most violent winds in the solar system. Pluto, the lonely tombstone at the edge of the sun. Beyond Neptune, your ship drifts deeper into the frozen void. There, a small, fragile world slowly comes into view. This is Pluto, barely 2,380 kilometers across, smaller than Earth's moon. It hangs in the dark like a silent gravestone at the end of the solar system. The moment you step onto its surface, the cold strikes first, -220 degrees Celsius, so cold that even steel would snap. The atmosphere is thin, just traces of nitrogen, methane, and argon. It cannot shield you, it cannot be breathed. You flick on your headlamp. A pale beam cuts across the landscape. Hills and glaciers emerge from the shadows, a frozen desert of ice and rock. Looking up, you see the sun, no longer the blazing star of Earth, but a faint, distant spark. Its light needs more than 5 hours to reach this place. For the first time, you truly understand what it means to stand at the end of the solar system. But the test of survival is not poetic, it is brutal. The extreme cold weakens your suit. Alarms flash red. Frost creeps through the seals. Your muscles stiffen. Fingers freeze. Breath comes harder and harder. Then, without warning, a crack splits your suit. The void rushes in. Cold slices through you like a blade. You collapse. Consciousness fades. Here, at the edge of everything, you last only 8 minutes. Pluto remains a lonely tombstone marking the final graveyard of worlds. The universe's answer. In this moment, you finally understand. Exploring these alien worlds never brings you hope. It only delivers despair. Fire, ice, radiation, storms, each one steals away your time, your breath, your fragile existence. Yet when your journey ends, you turn back to see Earth, the only true sanctuary. And suddenly it becomes clear. Perhaps we are not meant to find a second home among the stars. Perhaps the real purpose of exploration is not to replace Earth, but to learn how to protect the single, fragile, blue miracle we already have.